What's up, family? Gerald the Bossman here. You're tuned into the Bossman Show on AM 1010, AM 1430, 1055 The King. Let the King out at 105theking.com and the Bossman Show at bossmanshow.com. Hit me up on Instagram, The Bossman Show, Twitter at Bossman Show, and Facebook, Bossman Show. It's the Bossman on your radio.
Listen to the Bossman Show with your host, JR, Saturdays at 9 a.m. right here on AM 1010, The King.
What's up, good people? BetOnline is your number one source for all your betting needs. The latest odds, lines, and matchup reports for baseball, boxing, golf, and more. BetOnline continues to be the fastest and easiest way to place your wagers, including live betting and your favorite casino and card games available to play right from your phone. Head to the website or use your mobile device to sign up today and get in on the action. Remember to use your promo code BELIEVE, B-L-E-A-V, for your 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. BetOnline, where the game starts.
BS3 Network, changing the way you watch TV.
Yes, BS3 Network, changing the way you watch TV, covering content and hot topics from A to Z, sports, music, society and culture, movie reviews, you name it, we have it. Check it out on bs3network.com or check us out on Roku, BS3 TV on Roku, as well as check out your favorite podcast on all podcast platforms or Spreaker.com/BS3 Network.
You are now tuned to BS3 Network.
Episode 5 of the Patrick Gayle Show, covering Albany State basketball from the man himself, the source himself, the coach. You see him in his nice quarter zip representing the Golden Rails, gold and blue, bleeding that blue. It's the man himself, Coach Patrick Gayle. Coach, how you doing, brother?
I'm great, JR. How you doing, my man? We're cold here in Albany, but I think you're a little bit colder where you are. So appreciate you for getting out of that nice warm bed to come and do this.
Yes, it is no snow where you are.
No snow, although we do have a freeze warning. No snow. We might see some snow though.
Hey, snowing in Southwest Georgia would be a scary sight. There's no salt down there.
You know, it's cold though, man. It's definitely winter. I can tell you that. December is definitely right around the corner.
Well, Coach, how was your Thanksgiving? First, how was your Thanksgiving, and how did you enjoy that time with your players? Use as an example, teach your players to be thankful for what they have to be able to play basketball at Albany State. Be able to be together and grow as young men down there with you guys.
Well, I appreciate you asking. The players, a lot of young people, and I talked to the head coach at Spring Hill, Craig Kennedy, and he made a great point because he used to coach professionally, and he said a lot of kids said that they want to be professional players, and they don't understand that professional basketball players, the holidays, you're playing games. So you look at there were a lot of Division I games on Thanksgiving and the Thanksgiving week. So they're not, with their families like, every other student on campus. So I just want to make sure that people understand that student athletes, there's a large sacrifice you make when you play collegiate athletics because, especially basketball, we're a 2-semester sport. So we don't really get the holiday break like everybody else. And, that is a big deal with student athletes, man. You want to be with your family. Unfortunately, We've had, some guys suffer some losses in their family. So we pray for them. And, this time of year, you really have to cherish your time with family. So I made sure to tell my players, make sure you call your family, make sure you call your mom. Those are fortunate to still have their moms, alive, and make sure you spend time.
No doubt, coach. There's no doubt, man. For those who've lost, it's still a tough time of year. I can only imagine how they feel. It's not a great feeling, but having people around who they do care about you and to give you a sense of community is something that can kind of won't replace the loss, but kind of take the sting out of the loss a little bit there for those who need that.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So, I got to spend a day with my family, and some family came from out of town to visit, visit us in where we live. So, it's the best part of that. The best part of the holidays is just family. It's not the food, it's not the gifts, it's being around family. And I've had many memories of being a little kid, and having, your cousins and your grandparents and your parents and everybody, aunts and uncles around. So that's the most important thing.
No doubt. And coach, I see that you all had a great 2 game stretch here at home again. We claimed it last week, and it came for fruition once more. Spring Hill started that game. Um, Back and forth game, coach. 72-70, and Shakir got that putback for you to get the game there for you after scoring 25 and 10 for you that night.
He played huge for us. We played a really good team at Spring Hill. We had to go to overtime to get the win, and we were fortunate. We were fortunate. They continue to make runs and make plays, and we actually won the game not on that shot by Shakur. We actually won it because of a missed free throw. They ran a great out of bounds play. A lot of coaches will run a screen for their guy running the baseline, and my kid got caught in that screen, and we were fortunate that they did not, cash in on the free throws. But very well coached team by Coach Craig Kennedy. They're going to be really good in the league. I think our league is really, really good. And that was important for us to get that home conference win. So we'll take it, and we moved on to last night, and we another close one, but we'll take that one too.
I hear that, coach, man. Go at the spring, go at the Spring Hill though, coach. You got to be happy with this though. You shot only 32% from the field and won the game, and you grabbed 47 rebounds. That should tell your guys right there that on nights you're not making shots, but if we defend, we rebound, we don't make costly game plan errors, that even on nights like that, we can still get the job done the rest of the
That's
season.
right. That's right. Man, you're good at what you do, JR. You actually hit the nail on the head with those two stats, because I told them that, after the game, I believe we had 24 offensive rebounds. So I told them that, that's how you win games. And I said that's the only reason why, we had a chance to win it, is because we did a great job rebounding. That led to us getting to the free throw line, that led to extra possessions, that led to, the best time to shoot a three is off an offensive rebound. So that led to timely shots. So rebounding in that game was huge. It was huge.
And I think that's where young men can learn, because I feel this way, coach. It's like those little things, offensive rebounds, free throw blockouts, second chance points, not getting any live ball turnovers in a back and forth game. Those little small things add up. And over time, it gives you enough cushion or to win games like that, because those little small things that the fans don't really notice, just like me and you, a coach or a coach's son or a guy who knows who's played as well. Those small things that people take for granted really matter in winning.
You know what, JR? You should have been with my team the next day, because on Sunday when we watched the film, that's all we talked about. And we said exactly what you said, those little things, is what sustains winning. And we talk about winning ways all the time. And, we have to pay attention to those things every game. And that's how you're going to, win, one game, two games, three, four, five, on down the line in a row is you have to take care of the ball, especially with live ball turnovers, because that leads to transition points. And then you have to protect your paint. You have to rebound. You have to not only get defensive rebounds, but you have to get some offensive rebounds. And we talk about that every day. And just like every other team talks about it every day. So it's just about the teams that execute that game plan.
No doubt. And last night against Tuskegee, another tight game, where you had to really defend like crazy and, have guys step up in key moments. And Andy Antoine got a key defensive play there at the end there for you guys. And talk about this too, Coach Gills, how I know you're a defensive guy and teaching your guys how important defense is to winning, because defense is what getting you the job of finishing with rebounds, defending like crazy, not letting guys get open shots when you should not get open shots, knowing your scout the right way. And just talk about how, when you watch this film today with your guys, about how important it is to do these small things we keep talking about that leads to winning.
Well, you know what? We went backwards as far as rebounding. So it's funny that we're talking about how we have 47 rebounds against Spring Hill, and I think we only had something crazy like maybe just 14.
Yeah, I rebounded about 21 points. 21 rebounds rather, which is like,
there
wow.
you go.
And still
there
won.
You go. And we still won the game, and we won the game because of our defense, because we had to guard extra possessions. Andy had that block at the end of the game, and I challenged Andy at halftime, and I told him the game would be won in the paint, and it was won in the paint. He had one of his few field goals was a key make, in the second half, and then he stayed out of foul trouble, which was great. But Tuskegee, man, Coach Taylor, he has some big guys that they destroyed us in the paint. Martez Jones, one of the best players in the SIAC. I talked to Tez after the game, and I talked to Coach Taylor, and I said, I think he's probably one of the best forwards, in the league and in the country. He does such a great job offensive rebounding, and he killed us last night. And we're fortunate to come out of the game with a W. But our defense was huge last night. It led to a lot of turnovers on their part. That led to a lot of transition points on our part. And we're just going to have to work harder to protect our defensive boards. We play a D1 team tomorrow in FAMU, and they're going to be big and they're going to be athletic too. So we're going to have to really, hone in on those little details of boxing out and going to get the ball.
And Coach, what's good is that you can defend the home court so far this year. You're 4-0 at home in Albany. And talk about the importance of that, because I know in the NBA, you talked about you want to win your home games still on the road. So talk about that portion of teaching your guys to really defend home court and understanding, and that's going to help you down the road for seeding purposes and just winning games, adding that tally, defending the home court where you're comfortable at.
Winning at home is a focus thing. Winning at home is being able to, block out distractions and not allow, the people you go to school with, family, to kind of get in your head. You have to kind of zone them out and focus. You want to play well for them. Don't get me wrong. You want to enjoy them, but you want to enjoy them after the game. And they're not going to know an appropriate time to come and talk to you. You're going to have to kind of, block them out. So it's huge to win home games. If you don't win your home games, you're not going to have a good season. And that's why we're having a good season so far to start, because we're winning our home games, obviously. So winning at home is everything. I can't talk about, being in the NBA. I can only talk as a fan, but as a college coach, I can say that you have to focus. When you win home games, not only are you going to get your campus and your fan base to be there for you and to cheer for you, but you're going to get teams to come in And you have that advantage if you know, okay, we don't lose at home. Teams are already going to know we're going to have to really beat them. And you have to zone in and focus when you're at home. You're sleeping in your own bed. You're shooting in your own baskets. There should be no reason why you shouldn't play well at home.
And Coach, I'll tell you for me, I'm more focused on the road than I am at home. Even for me, I'm more focused on the road than I am at home. So I lock in better when I'm in a hotel room to myself than I am in Atlanta. Just being real, because
of the distractions, right?
I don't have to answer ticket requests or this and that, do this and that, So even for me, I can lock in better on the road and do my thing and not have to worry about distractions of home games.
It's the real thing. And I don't think you just said it, ticket requests. It's the same thing at the college level. Family doesn't know that calling you or texting you anywhere within 8 hours of the game time is not a good thing, because you have to lock in, you have to zone in. And a lot of it is the pressure of, I want to play well for, the fans and for, my students and the common students I go to school with and family. And you need that time. You need that time to kind of zone in and lock in. So it's a focus thing. And family's not supposed to care about that. You're supposed to care about it. So you have to kind of tell family and friends, hey, I'm going to zone in and lock in. We're playing at home. I'll talk to you after the game. That's a maturity thing.
No doubt. And Coach, I also want to talk to you about this too. Learning to win close games. That's a process. And
That
you
is a
won
process.
two close games different ways, and being able to use as teachable moments the rest of the year to teach your team. Like, we've won in close situations in various ways. The multiple ways to get the job done, as my dad says, more than one way to skin a cat. So talk about that, trying to win close games, teaching your team that way, is them being confident. Hey, we can. It's a formula we're doing this. We can do it. What we can do it more than one way, but it was something we must do. These close games winning, and then do it on the road as well, as you let these games flip around for you, going away from Albany, Georgia.
It goes back to what I just talked about with maturity. So last season, we lost a lot of close games. So when we won our first close game this year, I told the team that it's better to learn from a win than a loss. And I can be the first guy to testify and say, you don't learn anything from a loss. You think you do. And that's great coach speech. But the only thing you do from a loss is get down. So that anxiety comes back when you're in another close game. I can tell you that from experience. It is what it is. But when you win a close game, it's everything, because you actually can focus and lock in on more of the details to say, man, I can't put myself in this position again when it comes up again. But when it does come up again, you've already done it. So you're already zoned in and locked in and know and have the confidence, because confidence is a funny thing, man. I've had to release my control of my confidence, and I get my confidence now in the Lord. So I say to myself, you know what? I don't play. I'm not in control. All I could do, I've done my preparation as far as praying and praying for my guys and praying that we're focused enough to get this done. But at the end of the day, it comes back to maturity and confidence. So that's why winning close games are important, and it's going to help you down the line in the season. And after experiencing, losing a lot of close games last year and thinking that, okay, we'll learn, you don't, because that lack of confidence comes back. On the flip side, the confidence of us winning that first home game, that first close game, is everything. So now we've been in that position before. We kind of know what we have to do. And because we've done it so many times, we're prepared.
No doubt. And you got to your trip going to Tallahassee today to go to play FAMU tomorrow. You go to Tennessee to play Lane and Lamont Owen, Jackson, and in Memphis. So talk about this 3-game road trip, Coach Gayle, and it's going to test your team at the D1 level tomorrow night, but also get back in conference play and see what you guys are prepared for us on this 3-game track you got, man.
Well, last year, what's funny? we talked about close games and winning at home. So last season, we actually went to FAMU. It's an exhibition. We went to FAMU. We lost in overtime. The very next night, we played at home against Georgia Southwestern. They ran us off the floor. And a lot of it was we gave so much energy in that FAMU overtime loss. And Georgia Southwestern, they took advantage of us kind of being down. And, we had enough energy to start, but we didn't have enough energy to sustain. So now on the flip side, we're coming off a close win at home in Tuskegee. And like you said, we started a 3-game road trip. So I'm hoping and I'm praying that us winning these close games can lead us into doing what we're supposed to as far as our energy and effort tomorrow night, but also understanding tomorrow night's an exhibition and going into conference in the weekend and being locked in and focused on the road, because the conference games mean so much more than the exhibition game tomorrow. But that doesn't mean that we don't want to win. We always want to win every game that we play.
No doubt. It's kind of understanding the boundaries and layers to it. It just once again goes back to maturity, understanding, so what it is. And Coach Gayle, you have some nice in the corner there. Talk about that beautiful cross you have. And I think there's Oakland State colors almost
Oh
behind you
yeah.
there, Coach.
Oh yeah. One of my players, I'll show it to everybody. One of my players from on the team from Albany, Georgia, Lee County High School alum, Javian Johnson. His mom does a cross for him, and he has one in his locker room on both campuses that we have. So she made one for me, and I was blown away. And it has. I'll actually give the scripture. I'll have people read it, but it's Hebrews 11:1, and it's Romans 8:28. And I encourage, everyone to go read their Bible. I'm not a minister, so they can read it for themselves, because, the Lord speaks to all of us individually. You don't have to go through a middleman. So I encourage them to get in their Bible and read to see what that message has for them. But it's just it's awesome to see. We talked about family and friends. So it's awesome to see that families are so invested, in the team. And obviously moms are so invested in their sons having success. So to me, there's no coincidence when it comes to success. There's no coincidence when it comes to failures. A lot of times, now this is what I will say. I do think you learn a lot more from winning than from losing. But I also think that when you go through adversity, like we went through last year, it tests you. And the Lord knows, what's going to happen to you. So the Lord wants to see how you're going to respond to that adversity, and everybody talks about the story of Job. And we went through it last year. And Javian was a part of that last year. He's a senior now. So a lot of coaches will want their young people to have success, not just because they root for their own players, but because they've seen what they had to go through with that adversity. So that means a lot to me, what his mom did for me. I have that close to me. And I just want, everybody to know that a lot of times, student athletes and coaches have a bond that's a much bigger than basketball. I'm sure you can attest to that, JR, with your career in college.
Yes, I can, and even to this in the media relationships I have with certain guys like yourself. And, it's funny that, I'm in the media. A lot of you guys see me as a friend because I don't come off as media. Because I don't act that way. 'Cause I actually play and I'm different like that.
I will attest to that. That is true. That is true. And the thing is, I look to form relationships with people, not with titles. So JR, whatever you're doing, whatever I'm doing, we would have a conversation like this anyway, and I'm genuine in who I am. I know who I am. No one's gonna corrupt me. Nothing's gonna corrupt me. I've been on this earth long enough where the Lord has had many conversations with me personally to kind of have me discern a lot of things. And I thank the Lord that I'm here sitting in this chair speaking to you, hopefully, to reach people that need to come closer to the Lord and have their own relationship.
And Coach Gayle, I'm gonna go behind for the curtain back. And I'm in the media, but I don't act that way. Have I ever asked you once about a recruit, a scholarship, who's playing, who ain't playing, trying to get information out of you?
You only, JR, I can say this. Our relationship has only been you trying to help Albany State men's basketball and help me, as a coach. So I'm very genuinely happy, about what we're doing and our relationship. And trust me, I prayed about it a lot. And all the Lord has revealed to me is that, what you see is what you get with this young man. Just keep telling him to live the right way. That's all. That's all. So that's why I'm doing it. That's why I'm
Yes,
doing it.
yes,
Every show I've done it, right? So,
yes, yes.
but God bless you, man. I appreciate you. A lot of people talk about helping others, and I listened to a message recently. Actually, it was yesterday when I was working out yesterday morning, and it was a great message about um a trying to ask something from the Lord, but you're not willing to give. So the Lord wants to make you a conduit, and the more you give, the bigger He can put inside of you for you to receive your blessings, but for you to also to pass it forward. So that's the biggest thing, JR. You're using your platform and your expertise to help my program, and I greatly appreciate it. And all I can do is pay it forward to someone else that will need help and that will need mentorship.
No, that's so great you said, Coach. 'Cause that's why I do what I do, Coach. Because I feel like so many people in this business are transactional,
Yes.
and I'm not that way. Now I'll be flat out honest with people. I either like you or I don't, but that's me being human. And if I really like you, I will go out of my way to help you. And I don't ask you about stuff that's mundane to me. This is more important to me. Talking about having real conversations, not who's on start, not who's going to play rotations, who you're recruiting, who you're trying to recruit. That's to me as mundane. I let the beat writers. I let it for the beat writers. I'm gonna give you a different story for my people. I feel like that's more important than who starts, who plays, or your rotation. What were you thinking when you put this stuff? I'm curious about this, Coach Gayle, and I'm just that's not me. That's not my media way of doing things. I rather have a relationship with you and guys like yourself because it's more important. Because when I retire from this radio show, I have a friend named Patrick Gayle. Whenever that day comes, I say, I'm done being JR the boss. I'm going to be JR. You know what I'm saying? That's more important to me than trying to figure out right now, get you to tell me a little nugget. Go tweet out on Twitter on Instagram. That's what I'm saying, Coach. A relationship that's not transactional, not to help me boost or use you to boost myself. This ain't about me. It's about helping you in your program and helping another brother. Because you all don't. I said to you in July when we did the interview. They don't cover you unless you win a lot or something bad happens, and that's not right. There's some great stories going on in SIAC. It shouldn't just be when somebody win a lot or get a new job, somebody gets fired or something bad happens.
Well, I'll tell you, hey, so you're preaching. I'm gonna preach a little bit, man. I'll give you a little testimony, JR. So you don't even know this. I haven't even talked to you about this, but I was down when you sent me that email. I was down because of the year we had last year. It was my worst year as a coach. And when you have those type of seasons, I'm human. So I had to get closer to the Lord. I questioned myself a lot, and you sending that email was an answer to prayers of you are going through something, but you have to understand what you're going through is not going to be bigger than what you're going to be getting to. So what we're going through now with our success to start the season, I've already seen it just because of the conversations I've had, and the test and the adversity is what I had to get past. And there's going to be more adversity. Trust me. I'm not saying, we only played 5 games, so don't get me wrong. There's a lot of basketball left to be played. I'm not crazy enough to think that everything is good. We have a lot of work to do. I have a lot of work to do. But if you don't have that vision, if you don't stay close to the Lord genuinely, I don't need to pray to win games. I need to pray to get better as a person and to do my purpose. And I need to have a relationship with him. That's the bottom line. That's all I look at. But I do know this: what he promises, his word is not in void. And that's what I've had to learn. That you can't look at the past, you can't look at situations that's going on now and think that's it. You can't wake up and say, oh, my back hurts. You have to wake up and have a healing, vision, and you have to have a positive outlook. And that kind of can translate to the people that you're with and the people that you're around. The more positive you are. I pray for my enemies this morning, JR. I pray for those that I know that don't mean me well, and I just pray for them, and I ask, for the Lord to forgive me, just like I have to forgive them, because at the end of the day, they're human too. So, JR, I'm telling you now, I appreciate you just reaching out to me, because honestly, I was down. I was a coach that wasn't winning games, and I'm thinking, why in the heck would somebody want to reach out to me to do anything? And what you did was you showed me that no, stop thinking in that light. Think of a light of success and winning. And JR, since we've been talking, look, you've been claiming victories for me. So don't let the show end without you claiming some more.
I was gonna claim the FAMU victory tomorrow night. I'm gonna claim it at Lane College. That's Tennessee, where I know very well, and one on in Memphis. It was the Magicians. So I'm claiming it for you, Coach. 3-0 week for you. A great report next Tuesday. And Coach, I'm gonna tell you this too, Coach. I'm gonna tell you what I told you then. I didn't care about your record. I saw you as a brother, and I can boost you up a little bit, because I feel like you needed that. Now, I didn't know you needed it, but now I know you need it more than ever. But I didn't look at you as a record. I looked at you as a person and as a man. That's why I tell a lot of my guys in the business, why you want to talk to me for it? I'm losing. I'm not going to ask you about losing. I'm going to ask you about something that's positive. Because it's, Coach, in my shows, I don't know just negatives. Really. It's not what I do. There are people who do that. That's not who I am. I'm here to uplift and boost you up, not bring you down. Why come to be torn down? You know what I'm saying?
Right. I so listen, man. Not only do I appreciate it, I want people to understand that you can block your blessings when you judge. You can, and it's funny. I just got this message this week, and the Lord said to me, a lot of people that you think are for you really aren't for you. And a lot of people that you try to push away that you think aren't for you really just want to support you and really think and pray for you. And I was like, wow. And then I started to kind of think about everybody that I'm around. And it made me think, well, the only way I can be is the same way with everyone. Just like you just said, I have to be positive, have to be uplifting, and quickly you can discern, because you have to work on yourself. It's like a marriage. You don't marry the same person when you've been married for a long time. That person evolves, you evolve. So it's just relationships, humans. We are God's creations, but we're not perfect. So we have to understand that we have to constantly try to get to know and discern people. So, man, I appreciate what you do, man, and it's cool to be doing it through the vehicle of our athletics and basketball. That's what's cool about it.
No doubt, because we're giving you real life messages, not just basketball, which is important that we do on the Patrick Gayle show. It's going to get bigger and better and keep on going. We're going to get to claim these victories this week, and Coach, we'll see you next Tuesday. But hopefully with a great report, seeing you smiling with a great report for us next week, Coach.
Well, JR, I'm going to be smiling regardless. That's something I've had to learn too, just because we're both alive and we both can spread the message, and hopefully people will listen to this message that we had today.
No doubt, folks. It's episode 5 of the Patrick Gayle show. We'll see you next week. Be blessed all. We'll talk to you again down the road.
BS3 Network, changing the way you watch TV.
Yes, BS3 Network, changing the way you watch TV, covering content and hot topics from A to Z, sports, music, society and culture, movie reviews, you name it, we have it. Check it out on bs3network.com or check us out on Roku, BS3 TV on Roku, as well as check out your favorite podcast on all podcast platforms or Spreaker.com/BS3 Network.
You are now tuned to BS3 Network.
What's up, good people? BetOnline is your number one source for all your betting needs. The latest odds, lines, and matchup reports for baseball, boxing, golf, and more. BetOnline continues to be the fastest and easiest way to place your wagers, including live betting and your favorite casino and card games available to play right from your phone. Head to the website or use your mobile device to sign up today and get in on the action. Remember to use your promo code BELIEVE, BLEAV, for your 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. BetOnline, where the game starts. What's up, family? Jared the Bossman here. You're tuned into the Bossman Show on AM 1010, AM 1430, 1055 The King. Let the King out at 105theking.com and the Bossman Show at bossmanshow.com. Hit me up on Instagram, The Bossman Show, Twitter at Bossman Show, and Facebook, Bossman Show. It's the Bossman on your radio.
Listen to The Bossman Show with your host, JR, Saturdays at 9 a.m. right here on AM 1010, The King.